So I've been wanting to make some videos on some Destiny content for quite a while now, but I've never really gotten around to it. I've never really actually sat down and thought out my ideas and planned them. And I've got some time now to actually do that, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some videos on some third-party Destiny apps that I think will be useful to you, both for PvP and PvE, and some strategies, tactics, and basically some gameplay overviews that I can go over and basically share what I did that actually made that thing happen, whether it was a Trials clip, whether it was a certain win, whether it's a strategy to farm rep quickly, or whatever the case may be. I'm actually going to get around to make some videos now, because for the longest time I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do with this channel, and I still had all my equipment, my microphone, my capture card. I still had everything available for me to actually make videos. I just never really got around to it. So this video is going to be about inspecting your enemies before you play in a match. Now this could be in any PvP mode. I do it in Trials all the time. I think it is very important in Trials simply because it's the most hyper competitive environment you can get in Destiny, especially when you're getting close to your 9 wins for your Trials, for your Flawless card. So inspecting your enemies, the things you're looking for are the weapons they're using, mainly the types of weapons they're using, whether it be sniper or shotty, which exotics they're using, whether it be weapons or armor, the subclass, the grenades, the melee, their int-dis strength, their armor, their recovery, and their agility. You know these things, you'll know which type of strategies the enemies will be deploying before you even load into the match. So I'm going to give you a quick example. I'm probably going to give you 3 or 4 different examples of times that we've loaded into games and how I have called out to my teammates what the enemy are using. Basically, you watching this video, you have to think of yourself as your team's captain. You are the person that's reading the information, whether it be from in the game or from before the game inspecting, and you need to relay that information to your team so they know exactly what you know from inspecting the players. So that's your job, and I'm going to show you how I do that through a couple examples now. Alright, so I'm pretty confident on being in Shrine. We've flawless every time we try it on that map. Anomaly we've never played, and Asylum we're not too great at. So we got a Voidwalker, Nothing Manacles, Hawkmoon Shotty, a Gunslinger, Double Trip Mines, Last Word Shotty, and a Voidwalker Ram, Finales, and a Shotty. So triple Shotty, 2 Voidwalkers, and a Golden Gun. Yeah, I'm not gonna... They got Striker, Twilight Garrison, Last Word Snipe, a Bubble with Inmost Light, Last Word Fusion, and a Night Stalker with Fast Res, Last Word Snipe, Anomaly. Okay, so the Bubble, if it loads, is Blessing. He's not fully leveled subclass. These guys, 2 of them have never been flawless. The Bubble has been flawless. Other 2 are negative. You got Blade Dance, Mida, and a Shotty with Tarantella. Blade Dance, Hawksaw Shotty, Tarantella. And a Sunsinger with Starfire, Mida Shotty, with fusion grenades and self-res. So in some of the examples there, I didn't actually inspect the enemy subclass to tell my teammates the grenades. For example, with the Nothing Manacles and the Young Aramkara Spine, I could tell that the enemy would be using the Scatter Grenade and the Trip Mine, just because that's what the exotic perks do, is they benefit those 2 grenades. There was no requirement for me to relay to my team what the enemy was using in terms of grenades, because I could already tell through their exotics. There's a couple other things you need to know from certain subclasses, like on a Blade Dance, are they using Crouch Invis? With a Striker, are they using Juggernaut or Shoulder Charge? With a Sunsinger, are they using Self-Res? With a Night Stalker, are they using Vanishing Smoke? Are they using Envenomed? Are they using Shade Step? There's a couple little things, and you'll get to know them as you play the game. With a Defender, it's always important to know whether they're using armor, weapons, or blessing, because this will dictate the way they use their super. If they're using armor, they're probably using a triple shotty setup, and they're not really going to stray away from their bubble. If they're using weapons, they might have a triple sniper with high impact trying to go for a one-shot body, in which case you want to avoid line of sight with the bubble. So as you play, you'll get used to these things, and you'll also get used to the way you call out different subclasses. I called the Defender a Bubble. I didn't actually call it a Defender. Sometimes I'll just call a Sunsinger a Self-Res, because it's the only class that can actually Self-Res. So you'll actually find out with your team which terms you're comfortable with. You want stuff that's quick, easy to understand, because you have to give your team quite a lot of information before you go into the game. And you don't want to be forgetting that information by round 1. You want to be able to remember, okay, so they have 2 golden guns and a ram. again, you can use certain things, like instead of saying they have an Alpha Lupi, you could say they have a Fast Rise. Just quick little callouts, and also at the end of my callouts at the start, I like to give a summary. So again, I'll go over everything, and I'll basically say 2 shotties, 1 sniper, 2 strikers, and a Sunsinger. And just quickly, your team knows that they have 2 shotgunners, 2 snipers, whatever their setup is. Even if they weren't actually listening fully, they just listen at the end, and they know then that the enemy's running a certain setup and how to play the game from your side to counter their side. That's mainly what this is all about, is actually learning what the enemy's going to be using, how they're going to be playing, and how you should play to counter it, or even just to set up against it so that you're not running into a sniper lane when they're 3 snipers, or running out into the open and getting triple tapped by 3 Midas, you know. So that's the whole point of inspecting enemies, and that's the benefits that you can get from it. Now, all of the examples that I used here were actually in-game examples. That's my preferred way to inspect the enemy, is in-game, because my teammates can do it in the exact same way. I always inspect the players vertically, from first at the top, then middle, then bottom. That's the way my team expects me to do it, so if they're inspecting at the same time, they can see what I'm seeing as I'm calling it out, and if they make any changes, my teammates can call it out and refer it back to me. So if I call out that they're using 3 shotguns, and one of them changes to a sniper, my teammates can relay that information back to me, just so that I know, while I'm inspecting player 3, that player 2 has actually changed his loadout. Now, while we're in the game, I'll load up DestinyTrialsReport.com on my computer. Now, what you do on this website is you type in a player's name, and it will show you the weapons they're using, the subclass they're using, the important nodes on their subclass they're using, which exotic armor they're using, and then some certain perks that they might have on their weapons, whether they have Third Eye, whether they have fast reload on their gauntlets tied into their primary, whether they have final round, whether they have a revive kill sniper, just some certain information there that might be useful to you. And the reason I load this up on my computer while we're playing, and I'll refresh it every round or so, is just in case one of them changes a weapon, changes subclass nodes, changes a subclass entirely. It has been a fact sometimes that people had changed to a uni, and my Destiny Trials report has told me just before we'd encountered the enemies that they changed to a uni, and I can relay that information to my team in real time, in-game, mid-round, and we shift our tactics to actually counter that, and it's helped us win a round. So what you're seeing in the background is actually footage of Trials Report. It's very easy to use, DestinyTrialsReport.com. You type in an enemy's player's name, and it will actually fill in the other 2 Guardians they're playing with automatically. So I've typed it in here with me, and you see that I've been playing with Gameboy and J-Dude. They're the last 2 Guardians I played Trials with, and it'll show you what they've been using. Now, this might not actually be entirely correct because they've been playing PvE. The way it works is it loads in what they're using in real time. So Trials right now is not currently available, so they might be using some PvE loadouts, but the idea of this website is you type it in while you're playing, while you're loading it into the game, and then mid-game it will show you if they switch anything, and you can just keep an eye on it mid-game. So I'm just going to play a couple more examples just so you get a better idea of what I call out and how I call it out and how quickly you need to call out. And basically then just do your own thing, make your own method, your own way that you do it, because if you're calling out what the enemies are using, it's just going to help you have an easier time in game, just picking a strategy to use to try and counter your enemies. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in next video with some more whatever I decide to do. I think I'm probably going to do a video on in-game callouts rather than inspecting and calling out enemy loadouts. So keep an eye out for that, subscribe, and it will be in your sub box within a couple days. Thanks for watching, guys. He's a Stormcaller, IS Luna Snipe. This guy's not loading, so I'm going to go with the 3rd guy. Sunsinger, Last Word Snipe. He's Firewaltz. Okay, and Night Stalker, IS Luna, Shotty Bones.
Like, just for preference.
Voidwalker, Nothing Manacles, Hawksaw Shotgun. Voidwalker, No Exotic, IS Luna Shotgun. And Gunslinger, Bones, Last Word Snipe.
Okay.
He's
so
running
like
Trip Mines.
Whoops.
You got a Voidwalker, Ram, Hawksaw Shotty. A Striker, Twilight Garrison, Hawksaw Shotty. And a Striker, Twilight Garrison, Doctrine Snipe.